Hello, I'm Tylah Tully, and today I'm joined by Rhythm Biosciences CEO David Atkins. David, for those who aren't familiar, can you tell us a bit more about Rhythm?
Hi Tyler, good to join you. Yeah, Rhythm is, we're an 8-year-old ASX listed company, very fortunate to be made up of a passionate group of people. Rhythm's purpose is really to make cancer a treatable acute condition by providing products and services to detect cancer earlier. The logic, of course, is that if you detect cancer earlier, treatment leads to better outcomes.
So what is ColoSTAT and why is Rhythm working on this technology?
Yeah, so bowel cancer, unfortunately, is still a major problem. And even though we have a disease screening program in Australia and also in other countries around the world, these stool-based programs are not really well used. And unfortunately, most bowel cancers are still diagnosed outside of screening programs. This typically happens when a patient presents to their GP with disease symptoms. Again, unfortunately, if they're detected by this route by their GP, the cancer is typically later stage and responds less well to treatment. So there's a need for a blood-based test, and ColoSTAT is exactly that. It's a blood-based test designed to detect the likelihood of bowel cancer being present.
And why is your latest news so important?
We made a decision about a year ago to rebuild ColoSTAT and to change some of the fundamental technology. We got feedback from the market that we needed to make the test easier to use, more reliable, and cheaper. Now, there's always some risk whenever you rebuild something that some of the performance features could be lost. This recent result that we just shared in a market update shows that we've rebuilt the assay, we've made it easier to use, cheaper to buy, quicker to get results, while actually improving the overall clinical performance.
So what's next for ColoSTAT?
Developing a diagnostic product is a complicated process, and there are many stages going from concept through to commercialization. We're fortunately at the point now where we're really just focusing on commercialization. So our next steps are simple. Firstly, we have to start final production kit manufacturer with our US supplier. And then secondly, we need to do a final test with our final system. So by system, I mean the instrument, assay kits and software, just to be sure everything still works. And then we're ready to go. That's really it. We're on the final straight.
There was some focus on Rhythm's plans for the TGA previously. Where is that now?
Yeah, organizations like the TGA and their equivalent around the world, like the FDA, MHRA, and so on, they're really focused on making sure manufacturers don't risk patient safety and that the product claims are appropriate. Diagnostics are very different to drugs and devices that many people are familiar with. They're usually used by laboratories that have comprehensive quality controls. As such, these labs are trusted to be the gatekeepers of whether a new test is safe and effective on behalf of organisations like the TGA. This pathway in Australia is called in-house IVD, and we, like many of our peers and pretty much all new diagnostic tests, we're going to be going to market with a partner lab through the in-house IVD path, or we'll develop and utilise our own qualified lab.
And finally, you've mentioned screening. Will this be the first use?
Disease screening is the detection of an individual thought to be at higher risk than the rest of the population. Our initial launch will be for the use in individuals with symptoms of bowel cancer to identify those with an even higher likelihood of disease. This is commonly described as triaging the disease. As soon as we get this into the market, we'll continue to collect data to show that ColoSTAT is effective for detecting disease in people who are otherwise considered healthy, and this is called general screening.
Well, David, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.